Hello, I'm Kirsten Jane from Innovative Photography by Kirsten Jane. I've photographed Wigan International Film Festival for BAFTA North, and I've photographed Kinesis. They're a band that went on to open the Move concert. I come from a teaching background. Teaching is where I gained a lot of my confidence. I've photographed weddings with up to 250 guests. Now, for someone who's fresh out of university, facing 250 guests, it's okay having a really good camera, but there's so many different factors, and experience helps me on that side. And experience of venues, weather, couples, there's all kinds of environmental factors that you need to take into consideration. That's really important. I've been published in quite a lot of magazines over the years. I went to New York to photograph a wedding at the Waldorf Astoria Towers in Central Park. That was amazing, and my work got printed into a little cosmopolitan magazine. I've been published the North of England Weddings magazine quite a few times, a Teenage Sweethearts feature. What I really liked about that magazine was in it there was a little bit that said choosing your photographer, and on 2 or 3 times that I was advertising in that magazine they would actually pick my images, and so when you turned and opened the page to choosing a photographer, there it was. I'm available 24/7, so I don't have a different job where I'm 9 to 5 somewhere else and then do a wedding at a weekend for a bit of pocket money. I'm actually a full-time photographer, so I can do the commercial jobs in the week, and I'm available at the drop of a hat. That's real flexibility. If you're typing Photographers Wigan on Google, I come up quite highly up the rankings, so I do get a lot of my commercial work from like London-based companies who are looking for a photographer to photograph property in the Wigan area, and that's been brilliant. Not only am I a Wigan-based photographer, I am also actually at St Helens because I'm married a St Helens, good rugby rivalry there. Got studio space in Wigan, but I'm also hoping to have studio space here. Oh, my first camera, my dad's Canon AE1. Absolutely loved it. 35mm, looked at all the numbers on it and said, Dad, I want to know what all these numbers mean. So I went to night school, I went to Ibiza, I met a singer, dancer and a model called Claire, and she was my second business card I made. Beautiful red dress, she even got in the sea for me. And I sent her some pictures and she said, oh, lots of my friends are saying I should become professional. And then I did. Years ago when I was studying at Edge Hill, there was a competition, A Day in the Life of the Northwest. I snapped a gentleman on a handbag store in an Ormskirk market, and I found out that it was one of the winners and it went into the book. So that's where it all started from, really. Film or digital? That is a toughie. I do love film, but I've got to say, maybe I'm toying towards digital. I was brought up with film. I moved with the times, 2006. I bought digital Canon 5D. It was the first full-frame digital camera. It's taken me a while to come to love digital. I do like digital because you can sort of see it as you're going along. You can check as you're going along. You do get a lot more waste with digital, and you spend hours on the computer enhancing. Now, the one thing that I really don't like is manipulating. I like, if I'm a photographer, so I take pictures, and I like the picture or the image being the image it's going to be. Not spending hours manipulating like a graphic designer might do. That's not me. Got to mention a massive thank you to Cultivate Creative. They're a web design company just on George Street here in St Helens. Since I've met them, it's kind of like revitalised my business along the commercial side, because they got me lots of commercial work. Wellbeing Enterprises, Nuvia and JMAR, they're companies that I've gone back to numerous times and photographed them since. But Cultivate Creative, brilliant. I just want to say a massive thank you to them, and they got the ball rolling really for me. I met my great friend Jan. She was my boss at Cover Shots in Manchester when I first started out with studio photography. Got brilliant training, it was absolutely fantastic. Back in the year 2000, that's when I started my own business, so I had the experience I needed to set up my own studio.